I am really happy to be here with you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are going to pull one card from this deck, which is the Master Ascension Light Codes deck. We're going to read about that card from the guidebook, and it's going to kind of be like the theme, so to speak, of the reading. There it is. Ooh, Council of Light. Isn't that a pretty card? Wow. Look, it has the same coloring as this arrangement. How wild is that? Oh my God, it's beautiful. So we're going to read about this card, and then we are going to pull some tarot to kind of get essentially some messages from Spirit about this theme in your life. Okay. So the Council of Light, I'll show the card to you one more time. It says, examine soul contracts. The Council of Light card is an ethereal guide on your journey of self-discovery and self-evolution. With open-hearted acceptance of the universe's wisdom, this card highlights the transformative power of intention and the pivotal role of self-worth in your spiritual journey. It encourages you to mindfully navigate your relationships, learning from the challenges and embracing opportunities for growth. The card invites you to explore the myriad of roles you play in your relationships. Each of these roles, from the quiet supporter to the charismatic leader, to the mystical alchemist, to the compassionate healer, and even the misunderstood black sheep, each of these roles carries unique lessons and experiences. But remember, they are roles you have chosen and roles you can change. Bathing in the nurturing light of consciousness, imagine taking a peaceful journey to your spiritual birthplace. A warm, familiar light emerges, a beacon of pure love that surpasses any human understanding. As you merge with this light, you encounter other radiant lights, your soul family. Encapsulated within their orbs are sacred codes, the Council of Light, representing wisdom, teachings, and spiritual connections you share with them. These soul contracts established with your spiritual family serve as guideposts for your relationships on earth. The Council of Light card reveals these contracts, offering you opportunities to heal and enrich these relationships. If a desire for transformation stirs within you, the Council of Light nudges you to harbor love and compassion for yourself, particularly during your formative years. It is through these intentions of self-love and self-compassion that you can shift the timeless flow of your life, opening up possibilities for new contracts, experiences, and roles. Reflect on your current roles and contracts, particularly around abundance. Do you sometimes feel unworthy or that there isn't enough? Such feelings are not uncommon, but they can be transformed. Through compassionate awareness, you shift these perceptions, revising your abundance contract with the universe. Remember, roles are not fixed, but fluid. You have the power to reshape your roles, not just in relation to others, but most importantly to yourself. Setting your intention, communicating your boundaries, renegotiating your contracts. These actions signal to the universe your readiness to evolve. In conclusion, the Council of Light card illuminates your power to redefine your roles, reshape your relationships, and to ultimately enrich your soul. By embracing opportunities for healing, growth, and transformation, trust that your spiritual evolution and self-worth are beautifully interwoven, guided by the boundless wisdom of the universe. Wow. Okay. So this is interesting. This is a relatively new deck to me, and I don't believe I've ever read about this particular card. But I'm really loving it because it's validating what I'm coming to more awareness about in my own life through my organic healing process. And that is that there's this definite link between the experience of abundance, and I believe abundance is much more than just money. Getting into the vein of abundance is like getting into your own lane, essentially, like really knowing who you are and embodying that self energy and then sustaining your life from that innate knowing of self and alignment with the principles of Mother Nature and Mother God. And money is certainly included in that, right? And so I think that it's really interesting because it's been my experience that nothing trumps relationship dynamics when it comes to our experience of abundance. So put another way, nothing has reaped more rewards for me than cleaning up my relationship dynamics. And that certainly relates to my abundance. So there was a time that I didn't even consider my relationship dynamics, and I was trying to do everything else to increase my abundance or to get into the vein of abundance. And not that everything else isn't helpful or useful, and I don't think it can ever trump icky relationship dynamics. And so I just love that within this card, that was what came out, is like the connection between all of that. Oh my gosh. So let's see what is coming out with these cards. So give me a second. We've got the Three of Pentacles, followed by the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, the Ace of Wands in reverse, the Four of Wands in reverse, Ten of Pentacles, and the Devil in reverse. Wow, so this is sort of interesting. This is really almost mimicking or mirroring the message that came from this Council of Light card, which is examine your soul contracts, and really look at, begin to more and more awaken to how your relationship dynamics affect your receiving of abundance and your experience of abundance. So let's get into the story that the tarot is telling. So it's wild because the first card that comes out is the Three of Pentacles, which to me is like a collaborative card. So it's almost like a contract card to a certain extent. It's the people you're like collaborating with on tangible things in your life. So one way we can put it is like it's people you're building with in your life. And so it seems like the message here is that there, in certain agreements you've had with people you're building with, whether that be like with your intimate partner or with maybe like a business partner, coworker, so on and so forth, there's been some sort of like false start, or maybe better put, there's been like this difficulty of grounding potential into reality, because we've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands in reverse. So aces to me in the tarot often represent like this this really beautiful potential energy. Like you're being offered potential from the universe to ground. And Pentacles energy is like the tangible aspects of being human. It's really that like building tangibly energy. And the Wands energy is like that passion and fire. And so that leads here to the Four of Wands in reverse. Now, I think this relates directly to this Council of Light card. And for some reason, I'm just like getting the same, like the imagery somehow feels similar to me. Doesn't it feel similar to you? I can't really put words to it exactly, but with this Four of Wands in reverse card being at the center of your reading, I really feel like there's like there's almost like a turning point energy. Like there's like a precipice, and it relates to that examine soul contracts and realizing that they aren't set in stone, that you get to decide if you live with the Four of Wands in reverse or if you flip it to the Four of Wands upright. Because let's talk about the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is often, like very conventionally, is seen actually as like the happy marriage card. Okay? And so there's like this, there's, in more generally, I guess, it doesn't have to mean like marriage in terms of your romantic partner, but I think there is like this like alignment with partnerships and with where you're funneling your passionate, fiery energy. That can be like romantic energy, but that can also just be like creative energy. Okay? And so there's something here about like, again, getting into collaborations with people that you were building with. So Three of Pentacles. some sort of false start / difficulty really grounding potential into reality. And I'm almost, the Seven of Cups isn't showing up here, but I'm almost getting like Seven of Cups vibes from these two ace cards being in reverse. And oftentimes the Seven of Cups to me can point to fantasy thinking. So they're just like something was not quite in the realm of reality in terms of what you thought a collaboration or connection was going to be, leading to center of your reading, this Four of Wands in reverse. And with this Council of Light card showing up as the theme, where it's like examine your soul contracts, renegotiate dynamics, I'm getting this strong sense that you have a ton of potential right now to flip this Four of Wands in reverse to be Four of Wands upright. And it's almost like that's the advice from Spirit I'm getting. So doing whatever you need to do, baby step by baby step, in seemingly unimportant relationships and very intimate, important relationships, looking at how you can renegotiate dynamics so that you have the celebration of this Four of Wands versus the desire for this Four of Wands, but it not coming to fruition, you never experiencing it. And I believe that when you it's just almost wild because it's like, again, just like mirroring what this card said, because when you are willing to, again, baby step by baby step, flip this. So another way of putting that would be examine your soul contracts, renegotiate dynamics, look at what it leads to. It leads to the Ten of Pentacles upright and the Devil in reverse. So the Ten of Pentacles upright is absolutely an abundance card. The Ten of Pentacles is one of the most beautiful cards in the deck. It's like generational wealth and abundance because you have built something on solid ground. You've built something with integrity. You've built something in alignment with who you actually are and in alignment with again, Mother God's principles, Mother Nature's principles. And because of that, reaping your rewards is almost natural, which is, I've never, in this particular depiction of it, it's like almost feels just like a waterfall, doesn't it? Like it's just natural that those pentacles are arriving. And there's this even more, beautiful message where under this Ten of Pentacles is this detoxing of toxic energy, this detoxing of energy where you're maybe giving, but not that giving isn't being reciprocated in one way or the other. And so you're freeing yourself from that sort of binding experience of toxicity. And I really do think it all is like pointing to the Four of Wands card. So this almost feels like past energy, these three cards, the Three of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and reverse Ace of Wands. This almost feels like present energy. We have, the Four of Wands showed up in reverse, but I'm getting the sense that there's so much potential that you're like already working on flipping it baby step by baby step. And there's so much potential to more and more and more do that. And then this almost feels like future energy where the more you are willing to examine your soul contracts and see the relationship between how you show up in relationships and other things in your life, like your experience of abundance, the more you're going to experience that the beauty of the Ten of Pentacles with the relief of detoxing the toxicity. So I'm getting such beautiful vibes from this. It's also just like a gorgeous reading to look at. So, thank you for letting me read for you. Sometimes I just like am blown away, not only by the cohesiveness and the stories that come out and the imagery, but more importantly, just by like you, the collective that I'm reading for, seems to be people who are very willing to do what you need to do to correct things in your life. And by correct things, I mean like, like correct the things that you agree to unconsciously. It's like you're very much a collective. You're a group of people who are willing to look at the stuff that your shadow side, essentially, the things that you maybe didn't know you were agreeing to, you're, instead of doubling down on that or looking away, you're somebody who is willing to be like, okay, I'm going to look clearly at the Four of Wands in reverse, and I'm going to do what I need to do, baby step by baby step, over time, to flip it, because I deserve that. And others deserve that from me as well. And so I just think there is such beauty to who you are, the work that you've already done. And as with so many of my messages, there's validation and invitation that wants to come through. So validation, like from spirit, of all the work you've done up until this point. And there may be like this, like a little bit of frustration. And I speak from my own experience, where like you earnestly do so much inner work and so much healing work. And a lot of times that path takes longer than you think to show up in like the tangible sense. Right? And so there's something here about like validation. You've done so much work. The work is going to ground in your tangible life, meaning you're going to get more into the vein of abundance of health, abundance of peace, abundance of prosperity. And a lot of times, the healing journey is just longer than we want it to be. But I think this is validation, like don't stop. And there's where that invitation comes in inviting you to keep going, keep examining your soul contracts, your agreements, the things that maybe you entered into with less awareness than you have now. And you have the power to baby step by baby step by baby step. Again, flip this Four of Wands in reverse to be upright, so that you have marriages in your life, contracts in your life, whether it's with an intimate partner or within your creative life, so on and so forth, that are healthy and strong and are ones that you feel celebratory about, versus ones that are kind of like these false starts, or not reaping what they say they will, what you thought they would. It's like Four of Wands is like potential experience versus potential, with these aces in reverse, like potential not received, potential not grounded. Four of Wands is like almost like the opposite of that. It's like so much celebration. It's the grounding of that potential in terms of these collaborative partners, connections, so on and so forth. So keep going. Do not underestimate the power of relationship dynamics in all areas of your life. I think looking at relationship dynamics has been some of the most difficult work I have ever done. And it truly has been some of the most rewarding work. So I see this Council of Light card, this soul contract card. It actually is just like such an abundant card. Just speaking from my own experience, I feel like there really is nothing that's been more rewarding than getting honest with myself about how I'm showing up in a relationship, getting the support I need to process that and understand how to show up in healthier ways, and then baby step by baby step by baby step, renegotiating those dynamics so they're grounded in peace and health, which is, devil in reverse, such a healthy thing for everyone involved. So thank you so much for tuning in. You're such a kind, earnest, wonderful soul. Keep doing the amazing work that you're doing. Don't forget this sort of like future part of the story is not only the Four of Wands upright, but it's the Ten of Pentacles upright with the devil in reverse. So you just have so much to be looking forward to, which is why maybe this is taking a little bit longer than you had hoped, had expected, and the journey looks different, because the Ten of Pentacles is not something that necessarily comes easily. I think I mentioned this in a reading recently, but I think it's worth mentioning again, which is like this idea that sovereignty requires mastery. So I think a lot of times when we just think the Ten of Pentacles should be gifted to us without the mastery involved to truly embody it and ground it, that's when we can get really, really frustrated that things aren't happening more quickly. But if we can think, more broadly, So instead of thinking I need to be able to figure out how to ground this Ten of Pentacles, correct my relationship dynamics, ground the Ten of Pentacles within 1 year, what if it's more like, a decade or two? Where could I be a decade or two from now if I really focus on this and give myself the time to rebalance things? Because that's the thing, like rebalancing, shifting Four of Wands in reverse to the Four of Wands upright, like that sort of rebalancing, it takes time. It often takes money. It takes effort. It takes energy. Do you know what I mean? Like rebalancing is work. And so I think the more we can see it in that regard, but then give ourselves permission to think more broadly. So again, think in terms of decades instead of years. Think in terms of generations ahead instead of what it will just do for you. That can give us just a little bit of grace in the healing process, which is not a straight line. It's very cyclical, and it's not something that we are in charge of. It's something that knows better than us, whatever you call that thing, spirit, God, mother God, universe, is in charge of it. And so there is this surrender process that has to happen in order truly to go through the healing process. So finally, with all that said, I'm going to link up a song in the description box of this video, and it's by Trevor Hall, I believe. It's one that's been just really soothing and helpful on my healing journey, and it's simply but powerfully, you can't rush your healing. And I think they're, those are very wise words, aren't they? I think, putting that into practice, or like, not necessarily into practice, but just like knowing the truth of that in our being is easier said than done. But I love the song because it's almost like a lullaby that can like help remind us when we're feeling stressed out by our journey, when we're questioning whether all the changes that we're making, all the inner work that we're doing, the renegotiating boundaries and relationship dynamics, so on and so forth, whether it's worth it. I think it's nice to know that you're not alone in that journey, and that the nature of the journey is longer than we think, messier than we think, more difficult than we think, and also more rewarding, also more celebratory than we could ever imagine. So it's definitely worth it. Keep going. You're doing great work. And thank you so much for tuning in.